Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about concealers. So I'm going to try a couple different hacks that I saw, see if they work. And then I'm also going to share some tips with you as well. I feel like the under eye area is one of those that is the trickiest. So anytime I hear something new, I'm going to try it. And if I figure out anything along the way, I will share it with you too, because different things work differently for everybody. So I'm always going to try different things. Anyways, let's get into the video. I'm doing a whole eye look. I haven't finished it because I wanted to. I have other things to do first. So you'll see, you saw the beginning of the video what I look like, and you'll see the rest of me. And I'm gonna look a lot better by the end of the video again. These are some questions that I get asked often, so I wanted to address that first, and then we're gonna get into application. So one question people get or ask me too is, how do you apply or do you need to use a color corrector? When do you use a color corrector? Do you still have to use a concealer? If you use a color corrector, you should use a concealer on top of it, because usually it's quite pigmented if you use a color corrector. So you would apply it first under your eye. And I always go in this area here because that's where I have that. I feel like most people too, unless you have it all under there. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you put a lot of product all under your eye, it is going to settle and crease on you, okay? So even if you have it all under your eye, even if your whole under eye is dark, still apply it here. And then as you blend it out, you're going to just slowly blend it out, and that way you're not going to have too much product, because that's the biggest mistake people make, is they put way too much product under their eyes. And I even see makeup artists that do this blob and blob and blob. It's like, it's still too much product. You have to be very, very careful how much you are using. And if you feel like you've used too much, you can just take, you know what I mean? Like I always blend mine with a brush. Let me show you the brush that I love. Or you can use sometimes I use my finger a little bit too, but I always use this to apply it. And this is my concealer brush. This is from Clay to Pot, and I love it. I just love it. I just use it for my concealer. I even use it to clean up areas. It's just a really, really good brush to have, okay? So anyway, so when I apply it, and you'll see me doing it, I'm not just going to be sitting here talking, but when you apply it here, and then you can blend, and then you can take your finger if you want to, and then just get the rest of it all under there. But that way you're not putting too much product on, because again, that's the biggest thing. You can look for concealers that have a peachy undertone. You guys know about this one. This is my holy grail, and this is the one from Sisley. And I keep saying, I've had this for over 2 years now, the same tube, okay? And I pretty much use this daily. There's other concealers that I have, and I use those sometimes, but this is the main one I use all the time, okay? So remember that when people say the price tag and all that, just keep that in mind, okay? Or you can get something like this. It's from Ko-Fi, and this still has a peachy undertone. Compared to this one, it doesn't look like it does. I mean, this one's really peachy. You can see the difference. But it does have a little bit of a peachy undertone to it. So if you don't want to use two different products, look for a concealer that has that peachy undertone to kind of correct that purpley color that I feel like most of us have. This is a game changer for me. I've shared this in a video. I'm going to put it on, and then we're going to get into the tips, okay? This is an eye cream. This is not a concealer. Some people said I've seen this on TikTok, and maybe somebody actually left a comment on that video that you can just use the Milani brightening under eye brightening. This is not like the Milani. This is an eye cream. Milani is not an eye cream. And by the way, I tried the Milani. It didn't work for me. It looks nice. It looks like a great color corrector, but it's so thin that I would have to use a product on top of it. This is an eye cream. I keep saying that because so many people, I feel like it just went over the head. This is an eye cream, but it's tinted. It's illuminated. So what I love about this is I use it under my concealer. But if I didn't want to use concealer, I could just use this, and I would feel like confident going out in public. So let me show you. So I just take it a little bit, okay? And I still like to apply it the same way I do a concealer. So I kind of put it on like this. But we want to get it all under our eye because this is an eye cream. Then I will put it on. And then I'll take my finger and just lightly I love it. I absolutely love this product. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to do the other eye now. Again, just using a tiny bit. And you don't have to do it on a brush. I just like to. I just feel like that way I'm not wasting product. I'm not using too much, you know, and it just blends out really nicely, and I just like to do it this way. So, and I'll take my finger, and again, I just love how brightening it is. It is kind of shiny. And you can cut that down. One thing that you can do if you just didn't want to powder is you could take a tissue and blot it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to show you that. And then we're going to get into these other techniques. Okay, so I'm just going to take a tissue. See how that cut down that shine a little bit compared to the other one? And then you can also put just a tad bit of powder on this if you don't want to wear a concealer. But if you wear concealer, you can just go on top of it. So one of the tips was this. This is one of the techniques, and I'm going to try it. So, concealer. You apply the concealer. I'm going to do that. And then it says let it sit for a few minutes, and then you blend it with a powder. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that on one eye. Hopefully this is going to match up because I have other videos to do. Otherwise I'll have to wipe all this off. So I'm going in with my my Sisley concealer. I put it on my brush. Again, I'm just going to go in like this and apply it. And I think while this side is sitting, I think we'll do the other eye technique just to save some time. And if you have any questions about concealer, maybe I haven't covered in a video or something, please let me know in the comments below, okay? Now this is part of this tip I've shared before, but the other part I haven't. So I'm going to go ahead and take my concealer, and again, we're going to apply it. Like I need a teeny bit more. It's better to use a little bit at a time than to use too much, because you can always add more. Okay, so now both of my eyes are concealed. And by the way, one of the reasons I like to do it this way too is because I have tear troughs. See that? So when I apply my concealer like that, it just eliminates that look. And once it's powdered and matte, see how the light reflects and looks shiny? So when it's matte, it looks a lot better. So one of the tips it says to do is to blot. So I'm going to blot this first. So it says to take powder. For this, I'm going to use loose powder. The reason I'm going to use loose powder for this is because I'm going to put tissue on top of this, and then I'm going to use a loose powder. And I think if I use the flat powder, I don't remember that the makeup artist said, okay, to use it, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this on here. Did it do anything? I don't think it really did anything. It's like, really? Okay, let's do it again. Like there's a lot of powder on there. Okay. This is my under eye. So what this is supposed to do is, so it doesn't look crepey and subtle, I don't think it's really doing anything. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's enough powder for me personally. So I'm going to give that tip 2 thumbs down. So I didn't think it really did anything. Let me try one more way. Let me try rubbing it on there. Okay? Let me try rubbing it instead of just tapping it. But I feel like if I do that, then, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that did really anything. So I'm going to give that one a thumbs down. Okay, so the other one, which makes me more nervous, is supposed to be where I'm supposed to take powder, I'm going to use different powder for this. I'm going to use, although I feel like you're supposed to, I'm going to do this. Okay, we're just going to do it balls out, as I said, okay? We're going to do this. And you're supposed to go like this, really lightly. And it's supposed to look airbrushed. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I don't think it looks as good as the way I normally do it. Like, I don't think there's enough on there, but it's very light. Let me show you close up on both of them. So this is the side that I used my brush and I just buffed it in. And that's the other side that I did the powder on top, but I don't think it really did anything. So let me try for, you know what? I'm going to try a different powder. I'm a little nervous about this, but I'll tell you something. This powder on my face is amazing. This is from Laura Geller, and this is her Baked Blurring Setting Powder. Let's give this a little try. And I'm going to tap it, though, instead. I need a mirror to see what this is doing. It looks good. I'm going to do it on the other side. It looks real good. That's the first time I've used it on under my eyes. That looks really good. Okay, I'm going to have to test this again on its own because I have something else. Well, although the one I don't think it really did much, but I do have the powder on the other side. So, but look at, it's not settling. It doesn't look dry at all. Okay. Well, let me get the rest of my makeup on and I'll be right back. I want to zoom you in so you can see my eyes close up because they look amazing. Okay. Smiling too. See? No creasing. So here's the thing. I think the tip with putting the tissue on, I still had a shine. So that's the only thing. But you can give that a try. I've shared this before. I feel like I shared in the beginning of the video too. But if you're someone that doesn't want a powder and you put concealer on, just take a tissue and just lightly tap it out. And it'll take some of the shine off if you're somebody that doesn't want a powder. I prefer to do, when I powder, I prefer to use a brush. Let me get the brush. Here it is. I prefer to use a brush to do it and just tap it on. Sometimes when I use a velour puff and I see a lot of younger people do it, and that's great if you can do it, but I just feel like when I do it, it's a little too heavy for me. I just like this because it looks like I have no concealer on, and it just looks, it's smooth and it doesn't look powdery or anything like that. So I just prefer to use a brush like this. And normally I like to use this powder. You don't have to use this one. But this is the one from Charlotte Tilbury, and this lasts me a long time because I only use it under my eyes. I don't use it on my face anymore because it's too much. But this powder, I definitely recommend. This might replace my Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to use it again just on its own and see how it holds up, but it's a nice one. I really love how it looks. It just doesn't look like I'm wearing a powder. I love it. And it's not creasing so far. And I've been filming and I've been smiling and I've been laughing. It's not creasing. So always remember, you don't want to put too much product on like I've already shared with you, but I'm repeating it because it's important. Okay. Always apply it the way I did. Don't use too much powder. You don't want to bake under your eyes. It's going to make your under eyes look crepey. You don't have to use a powder. Totally don't. But if you feel like it, you definitely want to use one that's really light. And I feel like this one's a really nice light powder. I actually have that Laura Geller on my face as well today, and I just love it. I'm loving a lot of her products. There is one that There is one that I tested out. You're probably going to see that video, I think, before this one, and I hated it. You will see that video. So I don't love everything Laura Geller, but these products I really, really do like. So I hope that this video was helpful and informative. It's always fun to try something different. And if you have any questions about concealer, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help you. I know that our under eye area, I feel like, is one of the most challenging for mature eyes. We all have different under eyes. You know, we're all different. I don't really have lines under my eyes. I don't have lines, but I do when I smile, you know, and then I have the creasing. So if I put too much product on, that's when it's going to crease for me. Okay, so anyways, let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you're new here, I would love to have you join. I share new videos every single week. Please make sure you smash that subscribe button below. It's free. I share new videos every week, like I just mentioned. Would love to have you join. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for all of your support. I truly appreciate it. And please make sure that you are always liking, sharing, and commenting my videos, because it helps to push my videos out to the algorithm so I can help more people, and I would appreciate it. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.